Let's move out. Big. Throwing smoke. Incendiary. Grenade out. Throwing a grenade. Smoke. Flashback. Smoke. Deploying flashbang. Counter-terrorists win. My brothers. Smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke. Terrorists win. The way Russian blood. What are we going sneaky beaky like? Incendiary. Grenade out. Flashbang. Throwing fire. Grenade. Laying down smoke. Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing a flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Blending. Bomb has been planted. Throwing fire. down smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang. Terrorists win. We'll drive them from our lands. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke. Molotov. Grenade. Flashbang. Smoke. Throwing fire. Smoke! Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Blending. Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted. Remove any doubts in your head. It's us or them. Incendiary out. Smoke! Throwing smoke. Incendiary out. Throwing a grenade. Laying down smoke. Flashbang. I'm throwing smoke. I'm throwing smoke. Throwing a flashbang. Throwing fire. flashbang. I'm throwing smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing smoke. Flashbang. Throwing smoke. 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 Throwing flashbang. I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. It's going to explode. Terrorists win. Go, go, go. Incendiary. Throwing flashbang. Grenade. Laying down smoke. 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 I'm throwing flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang. Grenade. Incendiary out. Throwing a grenade. Throwing fire. Throwing fire. I am planting the bomb. Counter-terrorists win. Big lads, we're on. I'm throwing smoke. Molotov. Grenade out. Grenade. Smoke. I'm throwing flashbang. I'm throwing flashbang. Laying down smoke. Throwing flashbang. smoke. Laying down smoke. Smoke! I'm throwing a flashbang. Smoke! I'm throwing smoke. Flashbang. We are done to here. Throwing smoke. Grenade out. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Incendiary out. Smoke. Grenade out. Smoke! Smoke! Flashback! Throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Throwing fire. Bomb has been planted. Let's go. Up. We're going in. Throwing smoke. Laying down smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing a grenade. Flashbang. I'm throwing smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang. Smoke. Flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. You will defeat the enemies. Smoke! Throwing smoke. Throwing a flashbang. Laying down smoke. I'm throwing a grenade out. I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Smoke! Let's have at it, mates. I'm throwing smoke. Throwing smoke. I'm throwing flashbang. Smoke. Flashbang. Flashbang. I'm throwing smoke. Throwing a flashbang. Deploying flashbang. 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 Throwing fire. Laying down smoke. Smoke! Throwing a flashbang. Burn! Throwing fire. Planting. Bomb has been planted. I'm defusing the bomb. These fellas are gonna regret waking up this morning. Incendiary. I'm throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing a grenade. Throwing flashbang. Laying down smoke. Smoke. Throwing fire. Incendiary out. Smoke! Flashbang. Blending. Bomb has been planted. I'm throwing smoke. Flashbang.
Many angles to cover. Maybe Sonny's gonna have to show us what he's really made of here. They're coming in with a big flank here. Quaikut and Chrisen walking in from behind. Time's about to run out. Quaikut comes down and Sonny's gonna go down. Stico next in line. And the retake is absolutely on with the defuse kit as well. They're gonna have plenty of time here. And it will be the 8th round. So AVANGAR just barely winning the first half here. I would say that's a very good job.
That is absolutely a good job. And as we said a couple of times, they were bailed out by some massive heroics. The pistol round, the 4 deagle round from Buster. But I mean, you can't slouch that. These are best of ones, right? If you're mousesports, you have to be thinking we can't allow those kinds of rounds. Those are still massive mistakes. So they've given themselves a chance, and like you said, no one knows what they're going to come out with. And they win a couple fortunately timed rounds and break the economy of mousesports on the CT side. And we could have a real stunner on our hands to start things out.
It would be very interesting. Obviously, I feel like for every major up until this one, Moses, every single one, I've looked at either the qualification stage or actually the sort of the main stage, and I thought, listen, I pretty much know who's going to win. Like it just sort of like it reads off the paper. You look at the matchups, you say, this is going to be easy, and it just never works out that way. There's always some sort of crazy upset. So now, I'm just not going to have any opinions about that. I'm just going to like take it as it comes. I don't want to be disappointed anymore. I don't want to be wrong anymore. So I'm just going to enjoy it. And yeah, I mean, this has been really interesting Counter-Strike. I mean, some of it's been a little bit crazy, but
I'm going to call shenanigans on that story, because I know going into the majors, you've pretty much predicted Astralis to win like the last 6. Like going back to like Columbus, I think you predicted Astralis to win every single major. You've only been right once.
I was right. Yeah, that's true, but but we don't talk about the other ones.
Yeah, we don't talk about all the ones you were wrong.
Yeah. Does anyone go back and
the strategy behind your predictions right there in a nutshell?
I think for the future I'm going to make my predictions more vague so that they can always be interpreted to be true, you know, like a team with a blonde head, player is going to be winning a major in 18, something like that.
All right, yeah, that's good.
All right, we'll see how this all works out. Rushing towards the B bomb side is AVANGAR now. They're on the T side here for the second half. Chris picking off one with a headshot, a follow-up as well. That's a double kill. Putting a lot of pressure here on the T side, and now rushing in Stico. Wanted to make it work. Oscar and Robs to close it out. And that is a very smooth way to win a pistol round.
Yeah, that's a very nice shooting out of the mousesports guys. Not even really getting anywhere near the bomb site was AVANGAR. Great job from Chris J, the initial 2 kills. So 8-8. This time, mousesports not going to let that pistol slip away from them. Nice little B rush to start things out.
Yeah, why not? Get close, try and see if you can maybe run someone down with a Glock. I mean, it's not such a bad idea, but...
I mean, you never know when those runs are actually going to work out. I mean, the 2 kills that Chris gets, the first 2 kills are the important ones, right? Because that creates a lot of space, time for Stico to take shots. I mean, he used a full clip and wasn't able to find a kill, but plenty of time to have found that 3rd kill to add on to it. There's the scout from Oscar, ringing true. Demus6 going to trade him off with the Deagle. But mousesports doing a good job of keeping them at bay.
Yeah, I'm mostly interested in the fact that Buster's got the Deagle. I feel like that's where the action is going to be. He is up in the A apartments trying to see if he can sneak his way in. He gets a brief chance, but Sonny will take him down. So that story comes to an end, and now they have the man lead on the mousesports side. I mean, they can build a really big lead if they can shut down the first buy round of AVANGAR. I mean, it's going to be rough.
Well, they're holding off all these proper choke points. And this is smart. This is like them staying out of the bomb site, making sure they don't die to a Deagle, to a CZ, and give over an F4 that can turn the tides of this round. So that's just really, really good from mousesports. Not taking too much damage. Remember, that was one of the big things in the early stages of the previous half, was AVANGAR, after they win pistol, they lost 4 players in the next round. They lost 4 players in the 3rd round, or 3 players in the 3rd round. So, I mean, taking a lot of damage allowed that economy to get reset. mousesports doing their best to ensure that that doesn't happen.
Chrisen is also on 4 kills. which is quite a bit below the average sort of kill-death ratio here on either team, in fact. So it'd be great if he could have a slightly better second half. That's definitely going to make a difference when you're playing a team as good as mousesports. Now rushing right in. Robs is going to try and make that work with the MP9, but he does get shut down really quickly.
He just wanted some money. He wanted to pad some stats. You love to see it. Doesn't work out. He's given over the MP9, not the biggest loss. And I mean, he's seen plenty of numbers, so you can see the aggressiveness in mid now. Oscar's going to remain over towards A.
Yeah, just resurrecting an old Dota term. Greed is feed, Moses. I don't know if you ever played Dota in Warcraft 3, but...
I played the original Dota.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's good. I like hearing that. Chris doing a fine job, picking up some kills against a couple of unarmored targets with pistols, so pretty much par for the course here. Now it gets a bit more interesting, though. 10-8. The T side have picked up an AWP on Jame and AKs for the rest. I think this is the, like, if they want to win this game against mousesports, this is the round where they really need to change it.
Well, it's all about finding those critical rounds that are really like backbreaking to the economy, which is another reason why mousesports play in those ensuing 2 eco rounds was so good, because they don't want to, that they know that's the best advantage that AVANGAR can find as massive underdogs. Well, there's a scout shot to the face, and there's an AK shot to the face, and double it up. Why not? Great sequence, and Demasic towards the A bomb site. They just played contact on A off those kills in mid, and they've cleared out the bomb site. So this is, you said this is a big round, and it's looking beautiful.
Did he just rush middle with a Molotov in hand and still got 2 kills? I think he did. Buster with another one on Chris, and that leaves Stiko up on the scaffolding in the middle, hoping to try and see if he can maybe get one more kill. James shoulder peeking away, and back was coming in. There's a great flick. I really need to see a replay of that.
I think Jane was sitting at top mid behind that box, and he was just saying, I need help. Guys, please someone come help me. I'm trapped here. I have an AWP. No one's close enough to recover it. And no one came for like 20 seconds, so he just did it all on his own.
Yeah, it was a really good flick, though. So, gotta appreciate that. 9-10. mousesports getting, again, punched in the mouth, as you were saying. Happens again now. They've brought right back up. Double AWP. They've essentially sunk their entire economy into this round. So now they do expect a big payoff.
AVANGAR's done it. They've given themselves a chance to start making mousesports scared of an upset. That's a good nade onto Jame. He's still holding this, hoping for a jump. I don't think there's any way Sticko gives it to him. Oh, double peek perhaps? Oh, he does, just to get Chris J in position, and that was the exact shot they want. They baited out the shot from Jame to get Chris J in prime position, and he misses the shot. And he's punished for it. So good advantage, 5-on-4.
Yeah, it really looked like mousesports was dictating the positions there, and then they still couldn't do it.
It was very, very smart. I mean, you could see Jame just slid out wide right into Chris's crosshairs, and the play didn't work out.
Now they're starting to gravitate back towards the A-bomb side. Robs and Oscar are holding it. Sunny's not that far away, so essentially the defense here on A is pretty good. If they can just win, 1 or 2 fights, that's probably it.
Tough part is you can get, if they get smoked out here, right? If you're going to play a retake on A in this juncture in the game in a 4-on-5, you need to get kills as they come in. So if they both got smoked out, Oscar's now moved into the bomb site, but he's got the op, not the most wieldy. And they're just walking up silently. There's no indication this is coming. There is the footspin spotted. Oscar out in the open somehow recovers. He's about to get pinched from connector, so he's got to be careful.
Flashbang in for the peak there. Oscar going to pick up 1 shot and almost manages to turn it around. Quankett goes down. Jave now 20 seconds in a 1 versus 3, and he's going to get dropped by Sunny. So I'm surprised. They had almost everything done right there.
You almost feel like mousesports should have been punished. Oscar and Rops both out in the open to a silent contact play up A ramp from AVANGAR.
Yeah.
In perfect position to just get wiped out clean. Basically lined up for him. And Oscar recovers very, very nicely. Even Rops adding in for 1 kill just in the nick of time. So 11-9, mousesports have averted danger for now, but AVANGAR is going to buy up into this.
11-9. That double up still in play on the mousesports side, and I really feel like that's going to be the undoing of AVANGAR. I mean, even top-level teams are going to have a hard time if Oscar and Chris are both playing well. This time they have very limited equipment on the AVANGAR side, so let's see how far they can push it in this round. It looks like mousesports are going for a bit of aggression at top mid. So are they ready for it? Chris and then Buster are on the other side. It could be a good opening to this round if they can win this fight.
There's no reason for mousesports to get too aggressive there, especially considering it was Chris J at top mid with an AWP just holding the angle. He's going to back off now. So we saw the setup earlier today between Oscar and Sunny. And actually, AVANGAR, with so many players poised towards mid, it looks like they're changing their mind halfway through. They're going to come back to it.
Well, Oscar's just left Sunny alone. He's going to be turning around. Oscar will get one kill on the other side, but still, Sunny in a little bit of trouble back here. He stays alive long enough at least. And that's a great shot. Buster at it again with a deagle. He's building a reputation for himself.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around with a deagle, does he? That was a beautiful shot. 9-11. One more kill would be phenomenal. You could see in a lot of these, I mean, that previous round with Sticko jumping for Chris J so he could have an angle in those B halls. This round, it's Sunny up close with an AK-47, Oscar in window, Chris J on catwalk. mousesports really trying to create space for these ops, but at the moment, they've got to be worried. Buster has shown himself to be a very proficient player and perhaps the most impactful player on this AVANGAR side. He's now on a 1-on-2, and Oscar's only got 15 HP.
Oh, but the timing, Oscar, he was looking the right way, but Buster still managed to make the jump through, planning with 7 seconds left, and suddenly the pressure is on mousesports here, as you're absolutely right. One bullet on Oscar and he's going to be gone. Robs is falling all the way back, picking up a little bit of utility on the way, and now let's see if they can get this retake in. Buster's ready and waiting for it. He does actually have a flashbang. How much timing can he get into this one? He's ready for it. He hasn't actually reloaded, so 26 bullets. I don't think it's going to make a big difference here. Grenades go in, and peeking around the corner first is going to be Oscar. There's the shot, but Oscar is in for it with the headshot. And he does have a defuse kit picked up, so I think he's going to have just enough time for that defuse. Really, really impressive round coming out of Buster there. I mean, that's one thing is getting the first deagle kill, but then finding your way through the maze and into the bomb site, definitely not easy.
No, I mean, the nice thing that Oscar did really was, 15 HP, not being too aggressive after the bomb gets planted, but what he did do was just make sure that that Buster wasn't going to cross to the right side of the bomb site. So when Rops does eventually meet up with them, they know he's either on the left side of the bomb site or, or in the position he was in or in market. You kind of have him pinned down to at least a general idea of where he could be.
Tactical timeout being called here. And honestly, we talked about sort of back-breaking rounds. I think that might be one of them. The economy now not looking very good for AVANGAR, and that was so close. That was it within range. If they could have won that round, it would have been 10-11, and then, things are looking a little bit better. The economy for mousesports is really bad as well.
I was thinking in my head, I wouldn't actually mind if AVANGAR fought here. You're going to have to take those risks as an underdog, and especially in this scenario, 9-12, you just got it into a 1-on-1. You know that their economy is going to be beat up. You need that reset if you're going to win this game, especially at this point. They've missed a couple opportunities earlier, fair play, but now you need the reset. It's a must-have. Look at the contact play off ramp. Quikart's going to lead the way. Hasn't spotted Rops, and actually now he has. Drops him out, and that makes Oscar have to be a bit more passive with this AWP. But what am I thinking? Oscar's never going to be passive with the offense. Chris J is going to chime in for one, but it's down to a 2-on-2.
Long range spray there. The bomb gets planted, but Stiko's going to be able to pick it up. The UMP doing massive work, and again, they managed to save both the AWPs. So at times they've been down to one, but really they've kept these rifles alive for a really long time, mousesports, and that's obviously going to make a big difference in the overall economy of the game. 13-9 here, and it was a great attempt for AVANGAR. I feel like that could have worked out.
Yeah, fair play to them as well, because one more thing that they did do is, even in a round where they didn't invest a whole lot, they get the plant and they get the 3 kills. So yes, they say mousesports saves the most expensive weapons, but you're still grinding away some of that money. They have a good buy here, but Sunny's got $0. Chris J with 150. Still a small opportunity for AVANGAR. And this T side hasn't been kind to them. They've only won the 1 round, the 4th round. And it's been all mousesports outside of that. 6-1 run in the second half.
Good flashbang in, but Oscar is just a little bit too quick. And that was Buster going down. Not what you like to see right now for the T side. Sunny spraying at their feet, a follow-up grenade to keep them back. I mean, this is very tough. Crescent did push through it somehow, and Oscar goes down.
I don't think the fire started to burn. I think he got through before it really did its damage. I think Sunny also missed seeing his footsteps on his feet on his screen, because he could have called that out over to Oscar, who might have been able to turn around. Regardless, a very good trade. They're going to be happy with that. 3 for 1. And AVANGAR is split at the moment.
You need mousesports to give you something here. Anything to hold on to, some sort of peak anywhere. Otherwise, the clock is just going to run down. They don't even have any grenades to really set up anything. I mean, it would have been different if they could have got a kill, try to put down the bomb inside the smoke, you know, some sort of crazy play like that, but it is not looking likely at the moment.
Yeah, the ops on mousesports are doing a really good job. They've really kind of come into their own nicely in the second half. Chris J and Oscar just been picking them apart, and they've got to find a way to close the gap, and this could be it, although this is being watched obviously by Sunny. He's got eyes on this. They're not going to be fooled. Rops is well waiting, but I think Sunny might have fallen asleep. They're going to go over towards the B bomb site now. Rops recovers quite nicely, and James is just going to have to make some kind of a heroic run. There's a great kill. He started things off well. He's got one more in CT spawn, and he knows it.
Just going to go for a bit of a fake bomb plant, getting shot at from both sides, and that's going to be the end of it. I mean, I was getting a little bit worried in that round. It seemed like mousesports were about to give too much of an opening, but they do have 14 rounds, just 2 away from winning their first match here at the qualification stage. I mean, I'm definitely impressed with the way that AVANGAR are playing. I feel like for someone that we've never seen at the major stage, this is definitely impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Obviously, I mean, Quakert's quietly had a really good game, 20 and 18, and then obviously a little bit of a louder game, Buster 19 and 18. So some good stuff there. The tough part for them is no matter how well they've done at getting some kills, about taking the economy away from mousesports, they've always been able to recover that double op setup, which is just heartbreaking if you're AVANGAR, because this is the go-to setup for mousesports. It's the exact setup you want to deny once you start breaking the economy and you start, you know, grinding it down, but they've never really had a reprieve from the double ops.
No, they just completely demolished the middle as we were talking about it. Both Oscar and Chris doing wonderful work in there. A little bit annoying, I think, for Stico over at that truck. He was sort of looking for someone to get out the window, and just when he switched to the grenade, that was the end of it. Buster now 1 versus 3. We've seen him do some great work in the past, but this time he's got so little health from the beginning. It's hard to imagine that he can make this one work.
And he's got both the WPs to go against, so no matter, you know, Chris J and Oscar can be positioned on completely different sides of the map and still find a way to have impact. So there's Oscar, doesn't even use the op, just with the deagle. 15-9, AVANGAR's got to win 6 straight, but mousesports put himself in great position after a little bit of a rocky first half.
Yeah, they were off to a slow start. The focus is back in the eyes of mousesports. I think a lot of people are expecting the mousesports is going to be one of the teams to make it through the first stage here, and I mean, yeah, I think I would probably have them as one of the big contenders here. Yeah,
with some of the results they've had towards the end of last year.
Yeah,
you know, you have to imagine that they're definitely going to be one of the favorites coming out of this.
29 kills on Chris J. That does bring a smile to your face. I mean,
it does. Because he does get talked about a little less with the way that Oscar's been playing and the excitement of someone like Rops and the excitement of someone like Sunny, some of the younger stars. Yeah. Yeah, and someone... Way to go, Chris J.
Someone I think who's had like a kind of a turbulent career, because he seemed to be suffering from some sort of underperforming under pressure. And he just feels, I think, so much more confident in his team. Like, he really feels like a more stable player. So I'm happy to see that. 15-9, 25th round is coming up here, and we'll see what happens. Last chance here for AVANGAR to try and push it a bit closer, maybe even get into overtime if they can just get the right rounds through. A lot of damage already pushed out just from the grenades. Quaker needs an opening, and he's going to get it as well. Very patient.
He's talked about last round Sticko maybe being annoyed. Well, that's certainly going to put him over the edge. Chris J is in underpass, and I haven't seen him yet. And this is Prison basically to get a free kill onto Sunny. mousesports, they've been picked apart in this round. They don't really know what's happening here. Rop's getting spammed down to about half HP, but he's going to peek out right into the bullet of Buster. So somehow AVANGAR has taken 1 kill and found every gap in the defense.
Chris turning up now for his 30th kill. Nice to get that on the board. And Oscar as well. Going to be shut down. Krisen doing a good job. He wants a little bit more, but will go down to Chris at the end. The round's still going to be solidly in favor of AVANGAR for now 10th on the board. I mean, this is now interesting. The money for mousesports.
Awful.
Yeah, or they still just buy the double orb. Why not?
Well, yeah, funny enough, because Oscar and Chris J have been salvaging those ops. They haven't had to rebuy them like for so long that it's just everyone else who has no money. So they go back to the double op. It's only going to be deagles and then some upgraded pistols around them. But I mean, that's kind of a cool indication of how close AVANGAR has actually played this. I mean, the scoreline doesn't look that great, but it definitely, you know, in the details of the game is much, much closer.
See how this works out. Great flick coming in. Oscar playing it aggressively. That's what we expected. A little bit, maybe too much aggression coming in from Robs there. Could have needed some backup. The flick not going to connect. Kristen instead crouching almost under the scope. There's a shot from Sunny. Headshot on Buster. Almost feels justified in mid-air as well. He was jumping, so 3-on-3. Now Sunny moving in. He wanted a second one, but Kristen finally is doing a lot more work here towards the end of the game. They needed him for a long time.
Now rotating in, I mean, the tough part for mousesports, they don't know it, but Jame has cleared this B bomb site entirely, so no reason for AVANGAR to keep going towards A, and now Jame on catwalk has a great line of sight into the A bomb site. Some kills coming out at range. Look like mousesports is going to be able to do something, but yeah, definitely an overextension from Rops. I think those pistols were trying to get into the action a bit too early, too aggressively. Still let your oppers do the work.
They are sort of rotating back, but either way, if Chris is making too much noise here, they're going to realize where he is. He's probably thinking, I could just save this AWP, but they're actually going to be coming for him, and looks like he's out of the open. Jame will take him down. Another round on the board. This is going to get very interesting. Now the purchase of that double AWP has really hurt their economy. They're going to have to save this round.
The question becomes, with how much they wanted to use the ops, you know, they can buy into the next round with the kind of losing bonus they'll have building up, but they won't be able to have a lot of utility, won't be able to have the ops they want, so do they save two and let AVANGAR get close enough for striking distance here? This game just got very interesting down the stretch.
Yes, it did. Good flashbangs, good follow-up here. No hesitation at all here for the T side, just picking up all of mousesports within 5 seconds and bringing them a step closer. Yeah, I'm very interested now. Everyone should pay full attention to what's going on here, because if you're mousesports, you should probably have closed this game out a little while ago.
If you're mousesports right now, hopefully you're probably thinking of that pistol round in the first half, aren't you? You're just like,
oh god,
mother of God.
Yeah, that was quite a way to get started. As we said, the most disappointing start to a major we could imagine.
If you're just joining us, the first pistol round was a 1-on-3 won by AVANGAR with a smoke diffuse, or diffuse inside of the smoke. mousesports failed to stop it, and now with the win here against a depleted buy from the defense, AVANGAR might actually put themselves into a position to force overtime and have another shot at the upset. They were down 9-15 and they've won 3 in a row. They need 3 more.
That is the quick summary. And it's going to get interesting. They do have to win a couple of critical rounds, and this is one of them. mousesports do have weapons in their hands, and it's not exactly great. I mean, there's a lack of diffuse kits obviously there, and maybe some of the rifles could be a bit better. Jame wants to go for the run boost at the edge of the smoke. It didn't look like that's exactly what he wanted, but luckily for them, there's no one on the other side.
Didn't look great though, did it? Sick is going to walk up the ramp. That's a contact play. I don't think Rops has spotted numbers. I don't think they really realize how advanced Quikert is. Sunny inside connector, and Oscar not even paying attention to that close. So this could get deadly if they mismanage where they peak in their knowledge. Good kill from Chris to start things out mid. That takes away one prong of this attack. It's only these two remaining. Great shot from Buster. Traded off, but Quikert's now gotten involved. Rops, he's trying to get away. Running out of bullets, but he wins the fight anyways.
Oh man, Quikert could have maybe run him down, but instead he's going to be gone. Now the bomb plant attempt here coming out of connector. Stiko almost with the timing, but he can't stop it from happening. Robs with a double spray down, and that is going to kill the dreams of AVANGAR here. They almost could have had the full return into overtime, but not going to happen. The defuse is in, and mousesports will be picking up the match indeed. Here's 16-12 on Mirage. Very interesting.
Very cool. I mean, this just goes to show, like, yes, this is mousesports being massive favorites. No one really knows a whole lot about AVANGAR. No one really knew what to expect. But if you make those mistakes in the first half that mousesports make, if you lose that kind of a pistol run in a 3-on-1, if you lose, you know, a force buy to just deagles to this kind of a team,